Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dana with the Data. Yes. So before we get into the video, please like this video, share this video, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell button to get all notifications. Now, let's get into it. Representative Jasmine Crockett just made a comparison that has foundational Black Americans, including myself, outraged. She compared ICE agents enforcing immigration law, which is their job, to slave patrols. The slave patrols that hunted down enslaved Black Americans. But here's what she got completely wrong. This isn't just historically inaccurate, it's deeply offensive to every Black American whose ancestors endured actual horrors of slavery. Let me show you exactly what Congresswoman Crockett said that has people upset.
Representative Jasmine Crockett from Texas.
Thank you so much, Madam Ranker, and thank you so much to our witnesses for being here today. I've sat and I've listened, and what my colleague, Mr. Krishnamurthy, just talked about was just blatant racism. Like, I'm gonna just call a thing a thing. Like, this administration is racist. That he has always been a racist, and that is what we are enduring in this country. Let me give you some facts behind this racism. And they get mad when I say the things that I say, but I will not stop speaking the truth. Number one, I said that what we were experiencing in this country felt like what I would imagine slave patrols to look like. And frankly, anybody that knows anything about slave patrols, this is exactly what it was like. We're talking about lawless people that are going around with no warrants or anything, and it's all about rounding people up and disappearing them. That is what's currently taking place. And interestingly enough, even though modern day policing was born out of slave patrols, when I was speaking with one of my friends who is a federal law enforcement officer, he told me that one of the things that he has observed is that the culture is created at the top. And when I think about it, it absolutely makes sense. If you have somebody at the top that will not tolerate the types of things that we're seeing, then maybe those under you won't do it. But we know that we have a racist at the top. He has called himself the head law enforcement agent in this country, and therefore everybody has decided that it is okay to take off their hoods and mask up as ICE agents. Now, we've talked about how they have hidden themselves, but again, it reminds me of the Klan. That is why I proposed the Clear ID Act, to make them identify themselves, because it is dangerous for law enforcement as well as individuals, because you don't know, especially with ICE going around and doing the things that thugs do. They're busting out windows, they're breaking into homes, they're breaking people's arms. This doesn't sound like law enforcement. It sounds like thuggery to me. But just like you can have somebody at the top that sets the tone for ugliness going down, you guys are blessed, because in the city of Chicago, you have a mayor. You have a mayor that has decided that he will not back down. He will not bend to this administration. And instead, he will stand up for the people. You have a man of valor that is going up against a villain. And I think that we have to make sure, especially while we're in his city, that we recognize his leadership, because it is invaluable. Now, some people think that this is all about Chicago. But I want people to understand that this cancer is infecting us everywhere. And if you don't think that it can come to your city, well, I've got news for you. You see, we've been talking about the cruel and unusual punishment that is in violation of the 8th Amendment that is being handed out. And honestly, it's a spit in the face of every American that we have an actual convicted felon that feels aggrieved to the extent that he feels like he's owed hundreds of millions of dollars when people are literally dying under our watch. Recently, I just sent a letter, it looks like on October 22nd, to Kristi Noem. And one of the things that I laid out is that we have seen the most detainee deaths in ICE custody in a single year in decades, with 20 deaths in the last 9 months compared to 24 deaths in the past prior for years. Now, this week, we learned that an individual who went to the Dallas ice field office for a routine visit, meaning that they were doing things the quote unquote right way, they were detained. They knew that this individual had diabetes and required insulin every 2 hours. Despite ICE having been told this, the individual was denied access to their medication for 8 days, resulting in hospitalization. There are some that say that we are making America great. But to me, it doesn't feel like greatness. It feels like grossness.
That's right.
And in fact, I want to ask a few questions, and it doesn't matter who answers them. Is it great or gross to go into people's houses and drag them out in the middle of the night?
Gross. Gross.
Is it great or gross to make people afraid to do something as simple as go to school?
Gross.
Is it great or gross to make hard-working people say, I am too scared to show up to my job?
Gross. Extremely gross.
Thank you so much to each and every one of you for your courage. Thank you so much for showing up. And Miss O, I want to tell you that I understand that your mother is being detained in El Paso. I did go and visit that facility. I want you to know that I am always on my job. Oh, you're back.
Now, I want to be clear about something up front. This isn't about defending or attacking any particular immigration policy. This is about historical accuracy and respect for Black American lineage. Because when you understand what slave patrols actually were, you see why this comparison isn't just wrong, it's insulting. Slave patrols were organized groups of white men who hunted down human beings who were legally considered property. They had the authority to stop, search, beat, and kill Black people on sight. Compared to what we see today, people who made the choice to cross the border illegally, knowing the risks, but seeking economic opportunity here in the United States. Here's the core issue that Congresswoman Crockett completely missed. Captured from their homeland, chained and transported against their will, sold as property, no legal rights whatsoever, beaten, whipped, killed for trying to escape. Now let's look at the modern immigration situation. Choose to leave their country, travel voluntarily seeking opportunity, retain their citizenship and legal rights. They can voluntarily return home, and they are processed through our legal system. They come seeking opportunity, not running from slave catchers. It's a big difference.
I didn't live like this down south. We didn't live in nothing like this.
Right down south here. It's better down there, because North Virginia's built up now. It's better. Projects and everything, yeah. My own home and paper. I can do that, yeah.
What made you come up north?
I heard a whole lot of big money was making up here, and I thought just so I could get some of it.
House. Somewhere where somebody can live.
Slave patrols weren't enforcing immigration law. They were enforcing a system where human beings were literally owned by other human beings. When enslaved people tried to escape, they weren't committing a civil violation. They were trying to reclaim their basic humanity. Let me paint you the real picture of what slave patrols actually did, because apparently some people need a history lesson. Jasmine Crockett included. Slave patrols were legally authorized to stop any Black person and demand proof they were not enslaved. They had the authority to beat or kill Black people for being out after dark, which is why we have sundown towns as well. Search slave quarters without warrants, return property to their owners, and prevent any gathering of Black people. These weren't immigration officers. These were enforcers of a system that declared Black people weren't even human. Frederick Douglass described slave patrols as a band of drunken, swearing, ranting, brutal overseers whose job was to terrorize an entire race of people. Now compare that to ICE agents who are enforcing the laws passed by Congress with due process, legal representation, and deportation hearings. The people ICE detain can call their lawyers, contact their consulates, and appeal their cases. Enslaved people had no rights at all. And here's what really matters. Every person detained by ICE had a legal pathway to enter the country.
America, if you feel proud to be American, raise your hand. God bless America. God bless America. If you feel proud to be American, raise your hand. God bless America. I will vote for Donald Trump.
They chose not to use them. This isn't just about historical accuracy. This is about respect for foundational Black American lineage. For 400 years, Black Americans built this country while being denied basic human rights. We fought, bled, died for every freedom we have today. Our ancestors didn't choose to come here. They were stolen, enslaved, brutalized. Their children and grandchildren faced Jim Crow, lynching, and systemic oppression. We marched, protested, and sacrificed to claim our rightful place as American citizens. So when someone compares people who voluntarily broke immigration law to enslaved ancestors, it minimizes our unique struggle and historical trauma. Our ancestors couldn't decide to go back home. They couldn't hire lawyers. They couldn't appeal to anyone for help. They were property, not people seeking economic opportunity. Here's what's really happening. Politicians like Jasmine Crockett are using Black American trauma as a political weapon. She's not fighting for foundational Black Americans. She's using our history to score political points on immigration.
I want y'all to know that every day that I walk in those halls, regardless of whatever rhetoric they put out about me, I am a very serious lawmaker. At the same time, if you try me, you will find out. I just want to be clear about that because I am truly a Black woman at the same time. So
Where's this same energy for Black American unemployment, educational disparities in Black communities, healthcare gaps affecting Black Americans, criminal justice reform for Black Americans? Instead, she's comparing people who chose to break immigration law to our ancestors who were kidnapped and enslaved. She calls enforcing immigration law gross. But where's her outrage about the conditions facing Black Americans in her own district or anywhere else in this nation? This is what happens when politicians care more about virtue signaling than actually representing their constituents. If Congresswoman Crockett wants to have a serious conversation about immigration enforcement, let's have it. But don't insult Black Americans' intelligence by pretending it's the same as slavery. We can discuss immigration policy without rewriting history or appropriating Black American trauma. We can acknowledge that people seeking better lives deserve human treatment while also recognizing that laws exist for a reason. But what we won't do is let politicians use our ancestors' suffering as a prop for their political theater. Black American history is not your metaphor. Our trauma is not your talking point. We are descendants of people who built this country while being denied their humanity. That struggle is unique and it deserves respect. Jasmine Crockett owes foundational Black Americans an apology, not because she supports immigrants, but because she disrespected our lineage with her historical ignorant comparison. Our ancestors' struggle was real. Their sacrifice was real. Their trauma was real. And it's not the same as modern immigration enforcement. If you're tired of politicians using Black American history as a political prop, let me know. How about we start contacting Congresswoman Crockett and other people in Congress, demanding she and others show proper respect for foundational Black American lineage. Because until we hold our representatives accountable, they're going to keep treating our history like it's up for grabs. So what do you think? Was Jasmine Crockett's comparison out of line? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want more content breaking down political manipulation and defending Black American interests, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.